crazy to say, but I didn't even know that this level of peace existed. I noticed that there is an uptick in people interested in moving abroad, leaving the States, and I understand why. I understand. It's one of the reasons why I'm not there. So I left America not once, but twice. I'm currently in my 7th year of living abroad. Crazy. I when I calculated it, I was like, dang. Um, but every time I am in this space, I experience this peace. I live life in a completely different way than I did while I was back in America. It becomes more and more clear on why I left the US and why I don't want to go back. I actually have a video going viral right now showing just my transformation from what my face looked like 6 months before living in Thailand to now. Baby, you got me like don't you stop loving me, don't quit loving me. That transformation shows more than just weight loss. It shows peace. It shows reduction of stress. I'm no longer holding on to cortisol. Like when I tell you I lost 40 pounds without trying in a year, it just melted off. And I wholly contribute that to living abroad. The first reason why I know I don't want to return back to the States is because of the system that is in place. The system is built for you to have to depend on it. All right, so hear me out. For me, I need access to healthcare. I have a disability. I am an amputee, and therefore I have a medical device, my prosthetic leg, that anything can happen. Right? It can break. I may grow out of it or lose weight and need a new one, which is actually something that had happened. But anytime I want to get this device, I need to go to my primary care physician so they can write me a prescription for a prosthetic leg. An obstacle already that I have to go through to even meet with the specialist. Then I get to the specialist and there's copays. Then the final price of the product of the prosthetic leg, easily starting at, for a very basic leg, easily starting at $13,000, right? You get a foot with an ankle, easily $25,000. Okay, so I say that to say, as someone who is consistently needing regular changes to my prosthetic, can I survive in a system where every few years I need to be dumping out $25,000? No, not out of my pocket. Therefore, I need health insurance, right? And here we go with the system. This is where we get locked into the system because now I need health insurance. What's the best way to have health insurance? Through your job. So now you have to be employed for to get health insurance. Now you can be self-employed, but if you really take into consideration the mass amount of people, the majority of people in this world or in the States are working for someone rather than for themselves. The whole 9 to 5, that is a part of the system because you're working for somebody in order for you to get these benefits, these life necessary benefits. These are some of your foundational needs for safety because health, you want to be secure, finances, you don't want to have a horrible accident or something happen and be out of the hole and financially messed up yourself. So the benefits are, we are going to support your foundation. You have this job not just to support your livelihood, but to buy all of the things that the commercials, that the holidays, that society is telling you you need to be buying for yourself or for others. So now you got to pay, right? But some a lot of these things you can't pay with what you're making. So why not borrow money? Here's another part of the system with the banks and creditors. Because now how can they control you as a consumer, make sure that they get their money plus some? Oh, let's do credit scores. Now you have a number that tells you your worth as a consumer. And that is playing into you psychologically. I hope that y'all are picking up what I'm putting down, because I'm breaking down the system of the United States for you right now, okay? When your foundation is built upon the system, it's really hard to see yourself getting out of it. And this is where a lot of people get stuck, because they're trying to make moving abroad or living abroad make sense from the lens of a system. When you move abroad, from what I've learned, you have to completely eliminate that system. Completely eliminate. And when you leave or move out of the country or experience life in another country, you realize all of those things that I just put, all those boundaries, don't exist. What would you do if you realize those boundaries don't exist, or that a $13,000 prosthetic or $25,000 prosthetic leg you can actually get in another country for $1,500, $2,000? State of the art. So me choosing to leave America, to leave the United States, was basically a big FU to the system. You can be a part of the system and survive, okay? But what I have learned for myself is that system goes against what I have capacity for right now. I have reached a level of peace that I'm protecting at all costs. I have lived with so much freedom that I can't envision giving part of my freedom away for something that doesn't fulfill me. I moved abroad initially in 2015, and I was in South Korea. Stayed there for 5 years. And then I moved back to America. And that's when I realized very strongly one of the things that I didn't even realize I was doing, which was wearing this energetic armor when I left my house. It's heavy. It is protection for me because I'm a woman. It's protection for me because I am black, and I need to be prepared just in case I need to relax and calm myself. I need to prepare for conversations I will hear, because mind you, I had just moved from South Korea, where 95% of the time what I was hearing I didn't understand. So there is peace. There is a level of peace that you experience when you can't tune into conversation. You don't realize how much information, not just information, but when they could be talking about tragic events, they could be talking about their mama, brother, sister situation. You are receiving so much different kinds of energies throughout the day. Not just because you can understand what they're saying, what people are saying, but it's the denseness of the energy that is like shared across amongst Americans, because we are surrounded by news media, by social media that is constantly perpetuating violence, constantly sharing gossip, so much noise. I call it static, just so much static that you don't even realize all of the stuff that you've picked up until you get home and you can finally be like, like you be wondering why you're so tired after a grocery store haul or run. It's because you're picking up so much energy along the journey, and you got it when you get home. It's like you gotta wash that stuff off. So yeah, I was tired of wearing this armor to protect myself in this world. I didn't even realize how much I was protecting myself when I walked out my house. Moving abroad is when I realized just how deeply my body can rest. I watched my parents work so incredibly hard to give us, my brother and I, the life that we grew up with, the opportunities that we had. I'm so grateful. But I saw how hard they worked. I don't think they should have had to work that hard. Watching my parents was my greatest lesson in seeing what I wanted for myself. I got a little bit of my mom's travel bug. I got a little bit of my dad's love for nature and bike riding. I truly believe that I am the person that my parents couldn't be. I thought to myself, I can work for someone in a job for the next 30 years until I retire. I can be in a constant state of stress. I can be putting my dreams on the side. I can do all of these things because it feels safe and stable. I would rather live my life free now because I know that the how I'm living right now is going to prolong my life, my health. Ultimately, the reason why I left the US is because I chose myself. I chose my mental health. I chose my future. I chose my freedom, my real freedom. Leaving the US is less about us running away, but more so about running towards you, running towards your truest desired state of being. Anyways, I would love to know, if you are out of the States, why did you leave? And if you are still in there, why do you want to? All right, the bell's telling us it's time to go. Bye, y'all.